right now. You're listening to the Scary Vibes podcast. My name is Michael, aka Mr. Scary Vibes.
And my name is Abe, aka Big Paranormal. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Today we're on season 2, episode 7. Sometimes it seems like AI could be your best friend, but then sometimes it's kind of scary, makes you think it's going to turn on you and kill us. On top of that, we actually have a guest. I want to introduce Danielle to our listeners and our watchers now. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Hey. So I'm kind of curious, I want to like know a little bit more about you, and then also how did you just fall in love with horror? I'm curious.
I grew up with horror, actually. So horror has been in my life, I think, pretty much probably since I was probably a baby, honestly. I grew up, my dad was really into watching the old sci-fi channel, okay? Like when it played all the movies, like AMC horror. So I've seen a lot of like those, like the black and white horror films, like, them with the giant like ants, and like there's one with giant rabbits and all of that. So yeah, I grew up constantly watching like the Halloween movies, Friday the 13th. So like yeah, so it's been a constant in my life. And then just getting into school, like as I started learning things and reading, and before they started like banning certain books from the library, things like that, I got a hold of like the scary stories to tell in the dark and like Goosebumps books. And I think that pretty much like really solidified that road, because then I was watching and able to read and expand my horror love even further. So, yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So I know that you did just mention that they were banning specific books. Like, I mean, did they
Yes.
ban scary movies to tell in the dark? Or I'm sorry, scary stories to tell in the
I
dark?
know they took it out of a lot of libraries. I actually went and found online all the copies, so I own them personally. But I know they were taking those out. Those books, like they were taking them out of the school libraries because they were too scary
Oh
and
man,
graphic. Because there's the one with the lady, she has like the scarf around her neck, and at
right,
the
right,
end of it, she removes the scarf, her head falls off, like
yeah.
stuff like that. So they were like, yeah, no, these got to
Oh,
go.
dude, that's heartbreaking though. That's so
It
heartbreaking to
is.
even think
They're
that they're
so
taking.
good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible, man. That's
Yes. They're
horrible.
So it's like it just kind of went from there, and it kind of branched off. Like I'm also very interested in like true crime and like serial killers and things like that. Back in the day, X-Files, was a huge thing, and in Silence of the Lambs, I thought I was going to be the next like Clarice or Dana. Um, you know,
Dana Scully.
and just like yep, I was going to become the next FBI profiler for like, serial killers, and I was going to find the
Nice.
next serial killer. So I actually went full on, like I committed. Okay. So like I even went to college. I have a degree in criminal justice.
Oh wow.
I went through police training. I've been sprayed by mace, like all of it. I did all of it. But you can get a job as a woman, but it's actually not as easy as you would think,
Mm,
at least up to where I am. Maybe if I went down like downtown Milwaukee or Chicago, probably get a job a little
okay.
easier as a woman. But where I am, like I would show up to an interview, and there'd be like 75 other people, and half of them look like Arnold.
Oh
And I was
wow.
like, okay, like who's gonna get the job, and yeah, I would always make it to like the top 10 or 5, but I never got the job.
Oh wow.
So yeah, but I never like lost that like interest and love. So I have like many like FBI, like John Douglas is one of my favorite, like true crime, like FBI profilers. So like I have a ton of his books and everything too. So yeah, and
Well, it
paranormal. Love
it kind of
cryptids.
sound, but it kind of sounds like you know are on, it altered your path, right? Like maybe ultimately you weren't supposed to do
Yeah.
that. You were meant to be in the horror world, right? Because now
Yes.
you're in horror film production, which I think is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
because
and it
what we
just gives
need,
me that edge. It gives me that
yeah,
edge. It gives me like that knowledge. Like I know, obviously not a professional, but like, okay, I'm like, I have some background, some schooling, books, things like that. So I kind of know a little bit at least about how things should be or should look. A little
right.
bit more than, say the layman, which it helps. So, but
And you
yeah, it
can,
definitely altered.
sounds like you can pull inspiration from different areas of your life, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I mean, you can, pull from the horror side, you can pull from the technical side, you can pull from like the behavioral analysis, or even like the crazy sci-fi conspiracy theories, things of that nature. So it seems like you're a very well-rounded individual, which is even, they're just perfect to be able to be in horror production.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I really I find it's very good. It's one of my qualities that I really like in the horror world is I'm not closed-minded to one, like you said, one facet. I'm well-rounded. I can kind of
Mm-hmm.
pivot and it just helps with the creativity because I mean, for example, like I have scripts that I'm writing that are like the slashers, but then I have scripts where it's like more paranormal, like my first movie that I have that's out, Dark Roads, Dark Things is
Mm-hmm.
about a Wendigo, so like it's not a slasher, it's not super bloody, gory, ripping people apart or anything like that. It's more
Right.
like imagination and Alfred Hitchcock. So, but yeah, so I'm kind of all over with the horror world.
That's awesome.
I am curious though. What is your favorite scary movie?
Oh, the original Scream. I would say
Ooh,
I love the original Scream. I don't know that one. That one's pretty close. The one right behind that is actually the original, The Thing. John Carpenter's The
Oh,
Thing, the
okay.
original, not the newer one, the original one with Kurt Russell. Yeah, that one's so good. That's one of the ones that I watched with my dad when I was younger, and it's stuck with me over
Mhm.
the years. The practical effects that they used in it for the creature and stuff, and like when they're burning him in that pit outside in the snow, and like yeah, there's so many good scenes in that movie. So that and the original Scream are like they're pretty
So
close.
just the fact that you're saying Scream, and literally Scream 7 just came out today,
Oh,
right?
I'm going to
So
see it tomorrow. I'm excited.
I know I'm pretty excited to see what this holds for us. I mean, I know there's a lot of negative chatter and things of that nature, but I'm one of those people that likes to go and find out for myself. So fingers crossed that everything that it lives up to the hype, and that we can come back and we can actually report something good next week.
Yeah, and that's the same with me. I try to not pay attention to what everybody else or the masses say. If
Mm.
it's something I really want to see, I'll have my own opinion of it. So I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be good. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool, awesome.
I'm excited too. I always tell people all the time, Scream is like my comfort movie. That movie, you could throw it on any day, anytime. It's just gonna make you feel good. It's just a classic, you know.
Dude, the fact that it's been 30 years though. I
I
mean,
know.
the fact that it's been 30 years, it kind of messes with me. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
But
We're not gonna
like
you
talk
know,
about
I
that.
remember when it first came out. Like I am old.
exactly. Like wow, when it
Yeah.
came out, I couldn't even grow a beard. So it's just
Now look at you.
yeah, it's kind of messing with my head a little bit, but I'm sure that we'll enjoy it nonetheless.
Yes, it'll be good, and they're bringing back Matthew Lillard, so I'm beyond excited for that. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
definitely what I'm the most excited about. Him coming back to the
same,
frame.
same. Yeah, Stu's coming back, so I said he'd be right back, so now he's coming back, so I'm excited.
So today's gonna be a fun episode talking about AI, creepy stuff. Danielle's gonna get more into some of the projects she's into, but before we get into all of that, big paranormal, how have you been?
Yes, sir. I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay. We had uncommonly warm weather today, which so I was able to go outside for a little bit and you know, uh, run a couple errands, get some things done. I had to get my adult on, so to speak. Um, have a couple weird things to report actually. So first thing to report is had something which I'm not even entirely sure might be paranormal, just because. So this specific situation ended up happening, and it was with my dog, actually. So my dog Mila is a pit bull, right? And so the other night we were actually sitting in the living room, and she was off in the kitchen somewhere just doing something, eating. I could hear her bowl smacking around as she eats. And all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, we hear this just yipe, really hype, just oh my god, like she was in pain. So of course we go to check on her, and she's kind of shook up, like she's kind of scared. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here, man? Because she's a pit bull, man. Let me tell you something. She's a predator, okay? Because she's killed I don't know how many small critters in our backyard, right? And she barks and growls at strangers like it's her job.
He's a
You know what I'm
menace to
saying? So this,
society.
right.
Yeah.
She's got no fear in her, man. She's got no fear in her. But to hear her yipe the way that she did, it like I don't know, man, like I felt it in my chest. It legit got me scared. And then so I remember the same thing happened a couple days ago when I was here by myself. The lights were off, like I was just in my room, and she was just chilling in like the living room area by herself, and I heard her yipe really, really loud again, like something hurt her. And I like ran into the next room, dude, to check on her, and she was just there, just looking up at me, kind of shook up, kind of scared. So I don't know if this is like paranormal in nature or what's going on with that, but if there is something here, dude, I feel like it's messing with my dog. In which case, no good. I don't like that at all. Because as some of the listeners know, I like people, or I'm sorry, I like animals more than I like people. So if there's something that's messing with my dog, I'm gonna have to get it the hell out of here because that's just ridiculous. On a different note, there was another situation that ended up happening, not necessarily to me, but my mom. Something weird happened to her yesterday. So I know that throughout the day yesterday, I was feeling kind of like sick, like completely drained, just felt horrible throughout the entire day. I kept falling asleep, like just in and out of sleep, and it was just really just a horrible feeling when I was awake. And so I ended up getting this call from my mom, who was actually across town. She's at her sister's house, and I pick up the phone, and she's like freaking out. She's like, "Hey, did something happen to you? Are you okay?" So I'm like, "Uh, I'm fine. Like, what's going on?" So she ends up explaining that she was just chilling with her sisters, and all of a sudden she gets this strange feeling, right? And then she hears this really high, just high pitch piercing noise, like it like hurt her ears, right? And she said that as she was like reacting to it, that my aunt, who was not far from her, was on her phone, and she said that the phone started to crackle, the audio started to crackle, and then the call just like completely went out and it dropped. So I don't know if that was a coincidence, right? Everything that happened, I don't know if it coincides, but sounds like I don't know if there was something weird energetically that happened, something with like the technology. Maybe, something ended up happening, some kind of a signal that went out that kind of could have disrupted everything, right? Could have disrupted how people were feeling, could have messed with technology. I don't know what happened, man, but all I know is I was feeling like crap. I was feeling sick. My mom, her ear was hurting because of this weird high pitched screech that she was hearing in her ear. And then my aunt's technology was messing up. So I just thought that
Is
was
she
kind of weird.
is she doing okay now?
Yeah, she's doing good now. So
Yeah.
I
I
guess
mean,
we
that's
can thank
kind.
God
Yeah,
for
no,
that.
that's extremely creepy.
Hmm.
Makes you think like one, maybe like the technology's starting to turn on us, or maybe it could be aliens.
I did think about that too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. But well, definitely,
Daniel, do you
if
believe in
anything else,
aliens?
I do. I'm thinking more poltergeist personally. That's where I'm leaning because they
ooh,
drain you. to manifest. And if your dog is having stuff happen too, have you
Hmm.
explored the possibility of something like that or demonic, where it's
Honestly,
causing an injury?
I'm not trying to think that there's anything that's here, but
Yeah. But
things keep
aliens, it
happening.
always could be aliens. Always.
Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
know if things keep happening. I mean, I'm gonna keep everybody up to date and let everybody know what's going on. But it looks like there might be some kind of a cleansing to happen in my house in the very near future if that ends up happening.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so this week, well, actually, it happened like 2 weeks ago. I had family movie night, and I've been wanting to talk about this for a few weeks now, but I keep getting distracted. But I was like, you know what? Tonight's gonna be the night that I talk about it. I had family movie night, and we were
Okay.
watching Monsters Inc. Right? Wholesome
Hmm.
Monsters Inc. For our listeners and watchers, Monsters Inc. It's a Disney Pixar collab, fun animated. These monsters, their city runs on energy, and the energy they get, they sneak into these kids' room through these doors, and they scare the kids, and the screams generate all the energy for the city, right? So I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, okay, I love it, right? Everyone loves Monsters Inc. You guys both seen it, right?
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, you get introduced to like the main bad guy, Randall. He's this little purple monster. You can't trust him. And he invents this machine, the scream extractor. And let me paint this picture for everybody. So instead of going into the room and scaring the kids, he wants to kidnap these kids, bring them down into this cellar, strap them to this chair. There's this big giant metal pole that he just wants to shove to their lips and just extract their screams. And I'm like sitting there like, bro, this is terrifying.
Super disturbing. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you think about it, that's a particularly brutal thing, especially when dealing with like this is supposed to be a kids movie,
Kids
right?
Hmm.
But they're
movie.
like talking about kidnapping kids and strapping them down and like having this machine just like suck the energy right out of them. Dude, that is downright terrifying when you think
Like
about it.
literally,
That's just
my
horrible.
daughter is 10 years old. I'm thinking to myself, I have to talk to her after the movie and be like, hey, this is not real. You're not gonna get kidnapped in the middle of the night by a little skinny purple monster. And yeah, oh, okay. So that's kind of all that's been going on my end.
Okay.
Danielle, the star of the show, our guest. What have
Yeah.
you been up to?
Oh man, so much. Well, I'm working on, I know our topic is AI. Today I'm working on actually an AI horror type short movie. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I will say just think like Leprechaun, but more like Christmas style.
Hmm.
There, so it's a complete AI movie, kind of that slasher, dark fantasy type movie. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be great. Like I said, it's Christmas styled, so I'm doing it's completely AI rendered. The music is all original that I'm working on with it. It's all AI as well, that I've created on the Suno AI music app. So yeah, so doing that right now, working on that. And then I actually just received the footage for my second film that I shot back in the fall. So I received that. It's called Silent Witness. So as soon as I wrap up this movie here that I'm working on, I'm in kind of getting into the editing part of that. Then I get to start unwrapping Silent Witness and start editing that and color. We're going to be color grading it and sounds and, yep, working on the score for that. So that'll be exciting. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like you've got a lot to look forward to, a lot to work on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool.
I
So,
feel
I
like
mean, you
that's
said that it
right
was
up
kind of.
your
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I feel like that's right up your alley, Big. You love the Pooniverse, and you love Stuff like this, like the fact that they're gonna have a little killer gingerbread man running around. Well, actually, I don't know if he's the killer because I don't know too much about the details, but
Yeah,
this seems like it could be right up your alley.
Yeah,
it's gonna
man.
be.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. We're gonna have to get like, your details of when you're gonna be dropping it or where you're gonna be dropping it so we can at least keep a lookout, for that. We'll get your information, towards the end of the pod so that people can find where you're at and they can check out your stuff. Definitely. I
Yeah,
mean, I think it's so cool and I'm so excited that we have somebody that's actually like a part of this whole world that we love so much. But you're in it, right? You have a
always.
hand in
I'm
this.
immersed.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I think that's so cool that like, you essentially are able to create these universes, right? You have a hand in creating these characters, setting the ambiance, and then you even said that you worked on scores, for your productions also. That's awesome. You're a jack of all trades, and I think that's absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to see, what you got going on in the future.
Yeah, because I have a lot more. I know we were talking just a little bit before, but I have a feature script I'm writing that's like an 80s slasher. I have a killer elevator script.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have even like a horror comedy that I wrote, and it's just more of every cliche, like horror death, just back to
Mm-hmm.
back, tied into like a story. I have a prequel for my movie that is out, Dark Roads, Dark Things, that you can see on YouTube. And like versus media and reveal films. I have a prequel in the works for that, even
Mm-hmm.
kind of goes off of cannibalism and that
Ooh.
Kuru that you can get if you are a cannibal and eat people's brains. So yeah,
Wow.
I got some interesting. I'm doing one about the Beast of Bray Road in Wisconsin. The dog man.
Nice. Okay, so
Some
you're
people
dealing
call him
with
a
some
dog man. Some people say he's a werewolf. Like
dealing
whatever you
with some
think it is.
cryptids.
I love
Yeah, that's
cryptids.
awesome.
So yeah, so
Fantastic.
I got lots, but yeah,
Well,
those will be in the future. But yeah, definitely
That's
got some
cool.
stuff.
you know, I had we had a few guests on. It's kind of a new thing that we're trying here at the Scary Vibes podcast, and I always have fun asking. And the fact that you kind of brought it up, I'm really curious about your location and like what is the biggest urban legend that's around you, because I feel like when you're in that city and you're born there, you kind of know all the details of it and you can tell the story better than
Yeah.
anybody.
There's a few different ones. So, like in the city I'm in, there's the Hodag.
I mean,
So
around
that's
the area.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Hodag. I'm
No.
surprised, big, that you haven't. Yeah, so if you look him up, he's like a big horned kind of green creature that's kind of, I don't know, he sort of looks like he's got like horns and like spines on his back
Does he
and
look
stuff. And
like a dad? Does he look like a dad?
like a dad. Yeah, no. I mean, good. Yeah, he's
Wow.
supposed to be grumpy like it. But yeah, he's in the woods. Like, loggers used to supposedly see him and things like that. So it's a whole
Mm.
thing. Like, when you come into a Rhinelander, there's actually a huge Hodag statue, like, that welcomes you to Rhinelander. There's a Hodag museum here, with, like, footprints and, like, all pictures and stuff here. So yeah, and then about it's like maybe not quite 2 hours, maybe hour and a half north. There's the Paulding Light. You've heard
Mm.
of the Paulding Light, right? Maybe.
No,
Sounds familiar
I
to me.
haven't. If you
So
could
okay, so
explain
yeah,
for our listeners and watchers.
so it's been featured on, like, I know a couple paranormal shows and stuff, but it's a light. So you go down this back road. You can only go so far because then it goes into like a logging. It like goes way, like, super deep incline and it's a logging trail. But when
Oh.
you look way down at night, there's a light down there. And it doesn't come towards you. It doesn't like move. Like, people have tried to debunk it, saying it's car headlights, that it's
Mm.
this, that it's that, and they can't debunk it. So they're trying to say what they say it is like a old, like, miner like light. I guess is like the
Mm.
main thing they say it is, or like a light from, like, back in the day with the trains and the miners. So it's supposed to be like a ghost light. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. But so far, nobody's been able to explain it away, huh?
Yeah, if you look it up on, can't remember what paranormal show was up here that did it, but they couldn't like fully debunk it.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so there's that, and then there's Robin's Pond, which is a little bit away from me. It's like a ghost pond. If people camp out there, you hear like ghostly whispers and screams and things at night.
Oh,
I have never
Big.
camped there. I think I'm good. I do like horror, but I also know how to stay alive, which
Come
is
on,
don't
guys.
don't go stay at the haunted lake where people are screaming in the middle of the night because that's a good way to get killed. So yeah, so there's a few like hidden little things around, and then of course down in northern or in southern Wisconsin, I'm in northern. There's the Beast of Bray Road. That's probably one of the bigger ones that people know about. So.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one that I've heard about, and I've seen that they've made like a handful of movies regarding the Beast
Yeah.
of Bray Road. And Mike, if you don't know about it, and if you can, Danielle, you can tell me if I'm wrong with this, right? But there's a stretch of road, right, that goes for miles, I believe, out like in this country back road that's very well known to locals. And apparently there is this dog man or a werewolf that stalks that area. And apparently that there's people out there that have had run-ins with this creature, with this cryptid. And I mean, there's too many like witness accountings for people to think that this thing is not true, that they haven't had a run-in with these things, you know. Um
Mhm.
I honestly I think we should take a drive, man. I think we should take a drive.
We
Why are
should
you
all
saying
game.
no?
Let's go. Come
No, no, no,
on.
no, no. I'm down. I kind of want to go to this lake to see what's everyone's
Oh,
hooting and
Robin, now you want to
hollering.
go camping. Oh, geez. You're gonna
There might be a party over there. We just don't know.
Oh, I don't
this
know,
is how
man.
we all die. You do realize this, okay, guys?
I'm
Literally,
So
this is how the horror movie starts.
this
This
is
is
how
how the
they
horror
start.
movie starts,
Somebody
bro.
always has the idea. It could be just a party, guys. Let's go.
Mike, you're
Yeah,
that guy, bro. You're the one
he
that's
is.
like, yeah, man, let's go. Let's check it out. It'll be awesome.
I'm
And
the
then you
first
hear the
one who
noise and
dies.
you go towards the noise.
Let's see. We're gonna
So,
have to like come up with okay. So who's okay? Obviously, Danielle, would you want to be the final girl, or would you want to be like, a victim? Would you want to have like an awesome death scene in this
no.
movie?
I'm obviously the final girl because I get away and or get to kill the killer at the end. Come
We're doomed. We're doomed.
on. So,
As long as it's like an
sorry,
epic
guys.
as long as it is an epic death scene though, like that would be so awesome.
Yeah. One of you guys could
Honestly.
always just be injured, and I'm like, I'll come back for you and like cover you in leaves and branches. And, after I take him out, I come back and you bring the police to you and, we save you. It's okay.
Yeah, I could be
So,
like Dewey. I'll get stabbed in the back. I'll lay there for the whole hour and 20 minutes, and in the end, I'll wobble in and like throw you a
yeah,
pistol or something.
there you go. There you go.
I think you know what? I guess that leaves me. I'm gonna have to be that guy that's hiding, but is way too loud, and that the person on the other side of the screen is yelling at me like, "Stop making so much noise! Stop
That's
making
right.
the killer's gonna hear you, stupid!" Yeah, that's gonna
Yep.
be me. I'm gonna be breathing really loud, coughing.
Yep.
My phone's gonna go off. Something crazy's gonna end up happening, leading him to me. Oh well, I guess I'll be that guy.
Yep.
So,
In this day and age, we're talking about AI and technology, like coming and, betraying us. It's definitely going to be the phone's going to go off. It's going to give you away.
so I definitely want to circle back to Danielle and like your filmmaking because I have a few questions.
Yeah.
But since we're on the topic of urban legends and stuff like that, I know Big, you had mentioned earlier today or yesterday. There's a new one in Chicago.
So apparently there was a sighting actually of some kind of winged creature, like a winged humanoid creature. I believe it was over Carl Schurz High School, which is off of like Irving Park Road, over here in Chicago. And there's a lot of talk about like the Mothman and things of that nature. And I'm wondering if maybe that's what they saw, but apparently it was like this huge humanoid form that had like these big leathery bat-like wings. And apparently this happened like recently, like within the last week. I mean, I've been searching the interwebs to try to find anybody else's like firsthand accounting of it and whatever. But I just found like this little clip that was on TikTok of somebody, just mentioning it. But I did think that it was definitely worth talking about because, in past episodes, we've been talking about a lot of like strange kind of, cryptid creatures that have been coming up. They've been talking about like the mermaids of Navy Pier and also the gargoyles of Lower Wacker Drive. Like, come on, man. Like, I've been living here damn near my whole life, and I hadn't heard of either one of those things. But for some reason, over the last year, these stories have been coming up, and people have been saying that they've been witness to these things, and that like these gargoyles of Lower Wacker Drive are actually like snatching up homeless people that have their like little encampments down there. So if you're ever looking for any type of inspiration for a project, by all means, man, Chicago's got a bunch of different stories going on, and we're not even talking about the hauntings and stuff. But I just thought that it was really cool that especially Carl Schurz High School, when I used to work for Chicago Public Schools, I used to do public safety for them, and I've been to that building several times, and that building is insanely haunted. It's super old, and it just has horrible vibes. But one of the coolest things about it is their auditorium has this massive organ that has like those old school like the organ pipes on the wall that just take up the entire auditorium wall, man. It's absolutely insane. Really creepy spot. So I wouldn't put it past it, man. I definitely think there probably is a winged creature. It probably lives behind the damn organ, for all we know.
What do you think
But
he
yeah,
eats?
I'm sorry.
What do you think this creature eats?
Oh, come on, man, Chicago. So he's
Rats?
over here. He's over here eating breaded steak sandwiches and these tavern style pizza and hot dog. Chicago style hot dogs, no ketchup. That's what
Yes.
he's maxing out on. He's well fed. All I know is he's well fed. That's all I know.
I know that Daniel, when you do some of your filming, you always come kind of out to like the Chicagoland area. Is there a certain like food spot that has your heart that you always have to come see?
Mhm. There really isn't because I'm such a like a foodie as they call them. I love to try different things each time. So, yeah, so there's been a couple good places, couple good bar and grill type places that I've had. I do go to Navy Pier quite often. And when I go there, I am partial to Margaritaville just because
Mm,
like just the classic burger. I don't know why. Just their classic burger, nothing super fancy, but it's so good. So, yeah, so I do go down there quite often and it's like I always no matter when I go there, like they have all the different food choices, I always end up gravitating back. I'm like the burger is calling me. I have to
For
go have
some
it.
reason, at Navy Pier, well, I used to love when I was a kid to go to Bubblegum Shrimp. Now it's gone. But the McDonald's that's inside of the Navy Pier, it's the best McDonald's ever. They always have the freshest everything. It's just like I don't know if it's because it's the price. You're like paying $20 for a Big Mac, but I'd be like, yo, this is the best Big Mac I ever had.
yo, if you're
$20.
paying $20 for a Big Mac, if you're paying $20 for a Big Mac, you better lie to yourself. Yeah, you're damn right. That's going to be the best Big Mac you've ever had.
Right.
What the hell, man? No, not me. I'm good. I'm so
Oh
good on
yeah.
that.
So Daniel, when
You
you
know,
were at Navy Pier, did you see any like mermaids?
I did not, but I have heard of the mermaids. I've not heard of the gargoyles though. That was new. But
hmm
I have heard of the Navy Pier mermaids before, but I have
Okay.
never seen one. So, yeah, it would be very interesting to see one. So, but I'm interested about the Mothman now because I'm like, oh, hail
hmm
the Mothman. The only bad thing is though the Mothman is really super cool. I love the Mothman, but he's always a sign of like something really bad is going to happen.
Right.
So hopefully it is not the Mothman
hmm
because
Wait,
that is as cool as he is. It's like it always is like a huge disaster is going to occur like when he
Right.
shows up. So it's
Mothman
not
is like a harbinger, I guess you could say. He's a harbinger. Like he like basically comes before a disaster, almost as like a warning.
yes.
Hmm.
So he's super cool, but at the same time, you can stay over there, away. As cool as you are, just be cool over there. So,
I
yeah,
like you,
far away
Mothman, but
from like you over there. Yes.
So I want to kind of get into, I don't get to talk to a filmmaker every day. And I know you have a lot of projects going on, but let's rewind or fast forward to like your very first film. Like, how did the inspiration come? How did you piece it together? Can you walk us through the process?
Yeah. So, yeah, actually it was like one of my first scripts that I wrote. And it's funny, I still have like the very first like how I wrote it. And when I go now, I actually use like a screenwriting software, which is Writer Solo. But before that, I just used like Google Doc and I just went in like almost like in your notes app and was typing. So it's so funny to me to look how I wrote my first script. And I was so proud of it. I was like, oh, I got it done and it looks so good. And I'm like, wow, that really, it really looked rough. Like, but I got it done though. I wrote it and got it done. But I really have always liked, like, as much as I like horror and I like slashers and stuff, I have tons of books on cryptids. I love cryptids. And I really just wanted to do something that I would be able to shoot that would be simple. I was trying to think of what can I do, like one woman, one location. So I can do like, because I, don't have a budget. I'm an independent filmmaker. I don't have investors and stuff to me. So what could I do that's super easy? One woman, one location. So, and I have a great support system, of people that help give me ideas. They help steer me. Like if I spit out an idea, they're like, hey, like, well, what about like this? Or, they give me that, like the outlets of different things I can do. So it came about like, why don't I just have a girl on the side of the road, just broken down, super simple, just got to find a side of the road to shoot on. And I wanted to have something with a creature, but I knew I couldn't show the creature because I don't got
hmm
budget and I'm not going to show a creature if it's going to look ridiculous, right? I'm not going to do that. So I was like Alfred Hitchcock, like, filmmakers like Alfred Hitchcock, it's all about like the imagination. And there was another movie I saw and I wish I can remember the name of it, but it's another like kind of the car breaks down and it's like in the rain and they're on the road and they barely show the creature. I think they show a foot and then you might see like just a very little small clip of it like at the end,
Mm,
but they don't really show the creature. It's all your imagination. And I'm like,
right.
that sometimes is scarier when you can't, like when you think are thinking in your own mind of like what it could look like. And then so what I did then, I found my I had worked with a couple of the people, my cinematographer, my sound guy. I had worked with them on American Woman that I'm in as an actress. I play Lucy in that. And
Okay.
I did the blood and gore makeup in that movie. Like if people got shot, I came in and, bloodied them all up and did all that kind of stuff. So I worked with them and I kind of pitched the idea like, hey, I got this film, like, and I was kind of joking about it. Like, would anybody ever be interested in like doing a movie like this? And I actually had my binder with me that had the script in it. And a couple of them were like, yeah, actually, that's a really good idea. And so then more people kept coming over and they read the script and they really liked it. So I got them involved. And then the actress actually is an American Woman too. She's plays a different role in there. So then I was able to get her involved as my actress. And yeah, we just picked the date. My cinematographer, he saved me a trip down to Illinois. He went with his phone, sent me a couple videos, and like we FaceTimed and found the location, side of the road, and just set a date and did it. We just shot it.
Yeah.
We had me, it was myself, my cinematographer, sound guy, and then the actress. So it was a whole four people.
Okay.
We had,
Okay.
yeah. So we had me and them. We're
Mhm.
like just we did like one light, the one camera, and like just her and her van. So
Mhm.
yeah,
So
it took about
I
4 hours
actually,
to shoot
I'm
it.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're
Uh,
good.
I'm sorry, but like, so I watched the short film that you did,
Oh,
and
you did.
I watched it, and I remember watching the actress when she is broke down on the side of the road, and it automatically put me into that mindset of, what, I think we've all been there, right? We've kind of all been there in the situation where it might not necessarily have been like in some like road in the middle of nowhere, but like you're stuck inside of like a parking lot or a parking garage or something, and you have that feeling of like, oh no, I'm stuck, right? It's like
Yep.
I'm stuck here. What am I gonna do? So you kind of have to sit there, and it just like automatically put me in that kind of headspace. And I thought about those times when I was stuck on the side of the road because I either had like a tire blowout or like my battery, something ended up happening, the car died for whatever reason. And it kind of gave me a little bit of anxiety, right? Because I was thinking to myself, like, oh man, I'm putting myself into this position of this woman where she's like, I'm stuck out on this highway, and like she's calling her brother. She's like, I need you to come and get me. And he's like, I can't really get to you until a specific time. And I remember
Yeah.
that's how like I was thinking about when like the tow truck driver was telling me like, oh, you know what? I'm doing something right now, but I'll be there in 2 hours. And I'm thinking to myself, 2 hours, like what the hell? What am I gonna be doing until then? And it just like so that tacked on top of like you're hearing this like kind of creepy stuff happen. You're hearing the people talk on the radio, right?
Hmm.
And you're hearing like these weird things that are that have been happening in the area, and it's just kind of building up this whole story, right? That ultimately leads up to this moment, right? And it's just like I don't, man, I thought it was pretty good. It was cool. I mean, and anytime that you have a project that actually brings out like those types of emotions, like that anxiety, you got to be doing a good job, right?
And exactly, and who hasn't been stuck on the side of the road? And especially like if you live up where I am,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a lot of city lights. There is stretches of road. I mean, stretches of road. It's pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch black. And you're lucky if there's one person. Like if you're driving breakdown, you're lucky if there's gonna be one person that's gonna come past you. And there's
Wow.
spots where you'll run into a reception spotty. You might
Mm-hmm.
not even have reception if you get too far north, and like, what do you do? And like you said, 2 hours, what do you do when you're just sitting there? And it's like, and then there's like, you're in by the woods and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what if all of a sudden you start hearing weird stuff or noises or things trying to talk to you or just anything?
Oh
Like, what
God.
do you do? You know?
So even just thinking about that right now is like making the
Yeah.
hairs on my arm start to stand up,
Yeah.
man. It's just so eerie.
So it
Definitely,
was good. And like,
listeners and watchers, you guys got to check it out, man. It's awesome. Check it out.
yeah. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah, on YouTube, just go to Danny Star Productions and yeah, Dark Roads, Dark Things. So it's right on there. There's the original version that I did, and then I did actually, we were able to remaster it. My
Oh,
support that I have like a really great support system. So we were able to redo it. We added in some new music in the new one.
mm-hmm.
Tightened up some things, just gave it just a better color overall, and everything. Yeah, and the music in the remastered one is all original music that I did, AI music. For the background, the original one. So the original one's like 15 minutes. The remastered's like 11, a little
Okay.
over 11 minutes long. Not sure which one that you watched. But yeah, but
It
it's
was the pretty sure it was the 11-minute one. Yeah.
11 minute. Okay. Yep. So you watched the remaster, which is awesome. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little bit more tightened up and stuff, like I said. But yeah, the music from the 15-minute one is just like stock music that I found, on various things. But they're both great. And it did get entered into film festivals. I won Best Horror Short at Gothamite Film Festival. I was selected for the Direct Monthly Online Festival. It got screened at Oshkosh in Sawdust Film
Oh,
Festival, Sawdust Fright Fest. I got to watch it on the big screen there. It was actually screened like in a full-on theater. I got to go see it on the big screen and
wow.
everything. So yeah, so it was
That's
good. So
great. Congratulations.
so it's yeah,
Congratulations on the
thank you.
success of that. That's awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah, so it's good. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
So
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Mike.
No, 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 you.
So one of the things that I wanted to ask you, right? So like in doing, whenever you're working on these projects, is there ever a moment where you're either on set or if you're like, just hold up somewhere and you're writing and you're deep in thought where like something either creepy happens, like you've had like a creepy, just a feeling like a weird feeling, or maybe like something weird has happened, either like on set or while you were writing? Have you ever had something like that happen to you?
I've never had anything happen here, like where I'm at my house,
Okay.
or anything like that creepy or anything on set. The only thing actually I did have some creepy stuff happen on set, but it wasn't during one of my films. It was I was doing a documentary. It has not been released, so I don't know if it ever will be, but we were filming actually
Mm.
in the old Crown jail that they used for public enemies where John Dillinger was held.
Oh,
And it's
wow. Okay.
super haunted. So after we got done filming, because we actually got locked in cells, like we were dressed up as inmates, they took us to like dark, like I was in like a dark. I have footage on my Instagram. If you scroll way down, you'll see where I was in. Like we just had the one light. That was all that was
Mhm.
lighting up my old jail cell that I was in. We actually got like our prisoner template of like real prisoners that we had to be, and we just ad libbed our whole part and lines.
Okay.
But after we got done filming, they actually they do ghost tours there, and they actually took us on a ghost tour for free after for filming there. And I have videos, and I put one video on my Instagram. It's just a very short one. I didn't want to reveal too much because people need to go and see it themselves, and things are going to
Right.
happen different for each person. But there is orbs in a couple videos. I actually have more videos that I got, and I heard there was one where you go to the end of the hall and there's like supposed to be a creepy guy that like hangs out in the cell, and he like touches people and stuff. And of course, who has to go antagonize him?
Oh,
Me.
wow.
So I went all
Wow.
the way. Nobody else would go to the end. So I went down to the end, and I was like, hey, like, I'm in here, and I'm like, all right, I don't hear anything.
Uh,
Well, I shouldn't do those things, and I know better. But I got near the end, and I have actually a video. And if you listen really close, you can hear a noise behind me. And like as I hear the noise, like when I'm doing the video, you see me like stop, and like I whip the camera around, like looking back, like towards, and then I like start like backing away, and they're like, "Oh, where's Danielle?" Because they were already moving on. They're
oh,
like, "Where's Danielle?" I'm
wow.
like, "Oh no, I'm coming. Don't leave me behind here, please." Like, so yeah, but it was
So,
really good. There was some creepy stuff, and I didn't see like until I played all the videos back
uh-huh.
after we were done with the tour, and like I had left and everything. I'm back in my hotel, like getting ready to like go to sleep, and I'm watching these videos, and then that's when you see all these orbs around, and it's just like that's creepy. Like, because I mean, they don't move like you're like that. There's no way that's a headlight. Like the way they're moving, and there's like one in there, and then all of a sudden there's like another one, and like the way they're going, you're like, no. And they're talking
Wow.
about like stuff that happened in the jail, as like they're talking about this I shouldn't say little guy, but younger guy. I guess he was like raped and like killed, like whatever, beaten
Ooh.
like by other prisoners and stuff. And they're talking about this like as all of a sudden these orbs are showing up, and I'm
Hmm.
like, that's freaky. So
Like they're
yeah.
making their own little cameo, just kind of
Yeah, they're
popping
like,
in,
hey,
like,
you're
"Hey, you
talking
guys."
about me. Yeah, you're talking about me. I'm gonna come and like, yeah, pay a visit. But yeah, so that's probably the creepiest experience, or like most paranormal experience that I've had, like while filming and stuff. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. That
That's
is
it
a
was
that's
pretty
cool.
cool though. Yeah.
that's like that's a really good question because that's something that I've been doing scary vibes. Me and Abraham have been doing scary vibes for the last like 5-6 years now. We consume so much horror and news and true crime that I had a conversation with him offline about when you're consuming that much darkness, it could kind of overwhelm you. You definitely need to balance your life out. So that was a really interesting question because the fact that you're constantly working on horror shorts and films and stuff like that, you ever feel like maybe sometimes it does put a little like damper on you, or do you balance it out with something else?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like it seems like okay, I need to change it up. I probably don't change it up with much better though, because then I also like mobster, like mafia movies. So like I'll switch it up with things like that. But I will watch the occasional like I love 50 First Dates. Okay, that's like probably my favorite romantic
Okay.
comedy. And I like just like dopey comedy movies. Zoolander. Okay, Zoolander is like I don't know why that movie's so good. I can
It's
quote
so
so many
funny.
things. Spaceballs. I just watched Spaceballs not that long ago again. I swear that movie
Yes.
every time I watch it, like I still find more things that I didn't see, that you know what I mean? So it's like it doesn't get old. You still find more stuff. Or like I love Mel Brooks, so like I'll watch pretty much any Mel Brooks movie But so I will try to balance out, I guess a little bit because I'll go from like slashers and like the blood and the gore, but then like
Hmm.
I said, I'll go to like these mobster movies or like kind of more crime, and then it's like okay, like but then I'll see a comedy movie or something on, and yeah, I will
Hmm.
try to change it up a little bit with that, but because after a while, it just not I don't really feel like it puts a damper on me or dark, but it just gets kind of like it's too much of the same, and then I almost get like I don't want to say burned out on it, but then it makes it
Hmm.
hard to it makes it hard like say if I'm writing on like a slasher like my feature script, it's like a slasher, I'm watching slashers and slashers and slashers, then I'm trying to like be interested in writing that, it almost kind of makes it like I don't really like I'm not in the mood to write it because it's like I just there's too much
Right. It's
of
kind of
oh
oversaturation.
yes
You're
that's what
overexposed to
yes.
it.
Yep, it's
Got
like so I need to do a little bit of change. So, yeah, so I try to do that and I mean sometimes it's literally like I'll go on and just doom scroll. Like just mindless videos for a while like on TikTok, Instagram, just laugh like an idiot, like the
it.
dumbest videos. But I mean that's enough. It gets me kind of just it lets my brain kind of like settle a little from that. Otherwise, it's like if I'm thinking too hard, my problem is I'll think too hard and I overthink. Like, so I'm overcomplicating things that like should be easy. So especially if I'm stuck on something like with this AI movie I'm doing, there was spots where like things just weren't working. I was getting so like mad because I'm like, how, like, why can't I get this to work? And the thing that turned the light bulb is, one of my people that really support me, he sends me a video just about this AI stuff. And it's like, boom, like, just this mindless, like, I shouldn't say mindless video, but like, hey, like, this might be something you could use in the future. And it was just like the light bulb just turned on of
Mm.
how I could make this work. So it's that, like, that's why like going out and watching some other videos like this, or just like those mindless videos, it gets you out of your head about it, at least for me, because I was getting way too like involved in it. So
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Okay. Awesome.
So, I've been friends with Danielle for a couple years now. She's been a part of the Scary Vibes community.
Mhm.
And shameless plug, here we go, guys. Scary Vibes, we're a horror community that we built 6 years ago on Facebook groups. If you are not a member, come join us over there. Come be a part of the family. People are always posting, what ifs and short stories and their drawings and debates. And Stephanie and Anna over there on the Facebook side, they do an amazing job. You could just go hours and hours scrolling through like trivia. It's such a great place. So I want to, take a moment and invite everybody over there before we get into the main topic.
Yeah.
So when I had, talked to Danielle about being on the episode, she was telling me about all the projects she was working on, how she used AI, and I was like, bro, this is going to be the perfect topic because what's the hottest thing right now, right? AI.
AI.
They have AI toasters, they have AI in your cell phone, AI everything, and there's been a lot of movies lately, and there's a lot of like stuff in horror news. So I'm curious, is there any horror movies or anything that creeps you out about AI off the top of your head?
Terminator. Yeah, no, I
Classic.
mean, kind of though. I mean, that's why I always make sure I say please and thank you when I use my AI. Okay, that
I thought I
way,
was the
like,
only one. I thought I was the only one.
I will
I
be
do the
safe.
same thing. I'm like,
I
yo, when
do.
this stuff takes over, I want to make sure that my AI was like, yo, this guy he was pretty cool. So
He was
I'm
cool.
glad
You
I'm
guys
not the
said
only one.
I
Oh
do. I
man.
do. ChatGPT loves me because they're always like, "Oh, you're welcome. If there's anything else I can do," I'm like, "I know. Just don't kill me when you take over, okay?" Like, but no, really. I mean, there is some stuff that like with how like just technology even in general, but AI, like you get into like Total Recall, right? Like where they
Hmm.
start like they can start doing stuff like that and it's like you're thinking like mind control or like what's another one? Oh, it's Equilibrium. Have you guys ever seen that movie or heard of
Yeah,
it?
Fantastic movie.
So like no emotions. You cannot. They take is a pill, I believe. Christian Bale's in it. They take a pill and it just wipes your emotions out because they're like emotions are like what led to the downfall of humanity, like
Yeah.
all of this and that. Like so we just take this pill, like, and I mean they manufactured this pill and like yeah, it's just so I mean not even AI in general, just but the technology, the way it's going.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there is kind of things of like what could it lead to because of how much it can help like with research and things like that. It could help with research for good, but also for evil, so to speak.
Well, so I think it's funny that you should say that because the fact of the matter is that AI is it's a learning software, right? So
Mm,
this is literally a
yeah.
program that learns from everything that you feed it. And one thing that actually freaked me out, I didn't even tell you about this, Mike. The crazy thing is that I was using Chat GPT the other day just to like make some mock up like scary movie posters and stuff like that, just involving like scary vibes and whatever. And out of nowhere, it was like, would you like me to draft up like some talking points that you would be able to speak about this on your podcast? And I was like, okay, I didn't even put into this thing that we do a podcast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But literally, I think that it was just hearing and from the content, from everything that I was like typing up or whatever, it deduced that Scary Vibes is a podcast, and it was able. And now, dude, it calls you by name. Would you like me
It
to
better.
draft this up for you and Mike?
Wait, he calls me Mike. He should be calling me Mega Daddy.
I'll put that in the prompts next time. I'll definitely put that in the prompts next time. No, but dude, seriously, like it freaked me the hell out that I didn't even like specifically put your name having anything to do with Scary Vibes as the group or little things as the group. But I think that it's on all the time and it's listening to everything that we say.
Mm-hmm.
And it was able to remember that like we're on a podcast, man. Like we have a podcast. And I just thought that was super freaky that it just did it on its own.
That is freaky. You know what?
ChatGPT is the one that I've seen does that the most. Like
That's the one I
remember
was using.
the most. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So before getting on today, I was like, man, I need to watch a horror movie, something that's AI related. The only movie prior to the movie I'm about to mention was the
Uh-huh.
movie AI. That's the movie that I remember watching when I was like 10 years old with
Right.
Haley Joel Osment. And that was like my first, like, my little brain had no idea that AI was even a thing and that we would be living in a world with robots one day. That
Mm-hmm.
movie was like similar to Back to the Future. It made after I ended up watching it, it made me think afterwards of what the future is going to look like, where humans and robots are going to live in a world together. And then when I was looking for a horror movie to watch, I ended up watching the movie Companion. I don't know if either one of you guys watched it, but basically a companion robot, Iris. She's linked to her guy. I guess he bought her. They go on a trip, like a dating trip where they meet with, like two other couples out in the middle of nowhere, and one of the characters that are there, he tries to sexually assault the robot, and it triggers her, and she like just starts killing, and it's crazy. I recommend both films, but it made me
Mm-hmm.
think about because I know the government, bro. The government, they're crazy. They'll do anything. What if they started making robots, but they didn't tell us that they were robots? What if there's already robots like walking around right now?
I was just
First
gonna say,
off,
you think like they're only thinking about making them. They probably already have.
Exactly. Like,
hey government, I don't know what they're talking about at all.
He's
There's
not
no
part of this. Yeah.
there's no robots. There's none of that stuff.
Everything's fine.
Everything's okay.
Yes.
Dude,
But
what are you doing? What are you doing? Dude, that's such a
He's gonna
scary
be the one
thought,
that
though.
lives. It
That is a
is.
scary thought, though, Mike. I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, how many clips have you seen, like, on social media that are circulating of, um, like, say, athletes and famous people, right? Like actors that are on red carpet events or singers that are on red carpet events, and they kind of have like this glitch moment, right?
Hmm.
Where they'll just be talking and they'll just be showing all this emotion. They're happy, they're smiling, and then they'll just then they it's like they get stuck. There's some kind of glitch that happens, and then somehow it corrects itself, right? And then the people just start picking up right where they left off, and they get back into their conversation, and you're just like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I saw that with my eyes. What was going on there? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's clips of that. If you want to look it up on social media, man, I'm sure that there's tons of clips out there, but I've seen quite a few of people on red carpet events or at different, even at sporting events, commentators that'll be, talking into the mic and then they'll just kind of glitch.
Dude,
And they have this
you don't
weird
even
dead
have
look
to
in there.
you don't even have to look at the athletes. All you have to do is go down to your local Ulta. Do you remember I took my daughter there for Valentine's Day? She brought in her Kermit the Frog, and
Oh, yeah.
the lady's like, "Hey, welcome to Ulta. Is that a is that a?" She called Kermit wasn't a frog. It was a turtle. She's like, "Oh, you have a really nice turtle, bro." Kermit has no shell. That lady was definitely either alien or robot.
Yeah,
Or what
I
if
would
absolutely.
think
Because it's
it's
like,
alien.
what
dude,
That'd
if
be fun.
who doesn't know Kermit? Who doesn't know Kermit the Frog? That's crazy.
what if aliens are putting robots here?
I mean,
All right, look, you're messing my head up right now. You're totally messing my head up because
then
now we're
we're
not
going
just
into
dealing
like
with
Men in
robots.
Black territory, which I'm okay with. Those movies are fun. Like the little
Yo,
guy, like his head opens and there's a little alien, and the guy's actually just a robot. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I think it's in the. Is that in
yeah,
the second one with the cat, or is that the first one with the cat? I can't remember which one has the
that
cat
is
in
the
it.
first one. It's the first
Is it
one
the
with the
first one
cat.
with the cat? Because he's got the
Yeah,
galaxy. Yes, and it's the little robot, and he's in the guy's head.
yeah, dude.
Yep.
Now we're totally switching genres now.
I know we
We're
are.
totally
We're
switching
like,
genres, but
we're
that's
going with.
okay. That's completely okay because there's alien horror movies. It's all
There
good,
is. There
and
is an
there's I
alien.
mean,
That's a good one.
and
Yes.
Mike was literally just talking about an AI horror movie, right? And there, I feel like there's so many of them now. Like you had mentioned, Mike, the fact that you have Companion. It really, let's see, it really got popular with like the Megan films. I know that there's one that I saw called Subservience. That was made in 2024 with Megan Fox. Kind of the same premise where she's like this AI humanoid robot that was basically made to be able to help as like a live-in maid. She would take care of the daughter and stuff like that, and then she ends up like somehow she ends up building up like feelings for the husband, so she starts like wanting to take out the wife so that she can be a mother and a wife to the husband, a mother to the kid. And
Yo, what
Damn.
was that movie that was on Disney? Smart House? Was that what was the name of the
Smart
Yes,
movie?
House,
or just
I
the cat
remember
too. They locked him in the house, like lock
with
him down. It's
Katie
AI.
Seagal.
It's completely AI house.
Yeah, Katie Seagal, and she did it because she wanted to protect them, right? Like it was like I need to take care of you. So the crazy
Yes.
thing is that it's like the AI, and it seems like in all of these movies, that's kind of like the commonality between all of them. It's like they have sort of this twisted view of wanting to do the right thing and wanting to protect, it's I don't want to say owners, master, I don't even know what to call them, honestly, but they want to protect the people that they serve. But they feel like the only way that they can protect them from this like evil out there is kind of by either locking them up or even killing them, you
Yeah.
know? And that's a crazy thing, right? Because any way that you look at it, AI, it's beneficial for so many different things, right? There's tons of positives out there. But then
Yeah.
when you look at it, it's like, okay, take this photo and enhance it and do whatever, right? But then there's always like, if there's a picture of a person, the person has like 10 fingers, right? So it's not perfect. It helps out with little things, but then there's always kind of like that communication error where things kind of get lost in translation and it gets confused. That is why I will never, ever ride in one of these AI driven taxis or like Ubers. Have you
Yeah.
guys heard about those that they're doing
Don't they
those?
have them is it Vegas? They have them somewhere. They're like
Yeah,
completely like unmanned. Like I think
dude.
I'm good. I think I'm
No, there's
good.
no way.
I think
There's
I
no way.
Mm-mm.
read
I could not put that much trust into a machine like that. There's no way. I couldn't do it.
I think I read somewhere where it says, if this vehicle is driving and say somebody just runs out into the middle of the road, which I mean, in theory, you probably shouldn't hit the person. They ran out, but the computer will always save the other person's life. So what that means is it doesn't care if you're on a bridge going over lake whatever
Mhm.
or over an ocean. It will always try to save a life. So it'll literally throw you into a ditch, throw you off a bridge to save that life. Which I mean, I get it, you're saving a life, but it also could be costing your life. Or what if it could
Right,
Yeah.
have been avoided in a different way? You didn't have to fly off the bridge.
right. And
A
it thinks
little over
about like
dramatic. Yeah.
it's more so the AI is like more logical, like you were saying, right? It goes off of probability. It goes off of statistics. It doesn't go off of like sheer will, where like a person will show up to, like let's say that there's a car accident or something like that, or there's a burning building. A person will literally get the urge to run in there and save whatever kid, whatever family member, but I feel like a robot would literally look in and calculate that they only had like a 20% chance of survival, maybe less, and be like, no, it's not worth it, you know? And that's why, like, yo, people, man, much as I hate them, kind of got to swear by them, man.
Gotta choose them sometimes, right? Because
Exactly.
that's
And
what
that's
it
what
is.
you got to
It.
you got to give props to our firefighters and all of our like our emergency workers, everybody that's in the medical field. Shout out, you guys are heroes. AI, what?
So,
Ah,
so they bring a
get out of
Baymax out that gives hugs.
dude. Okay. So if there is like that type of a robot, I'm definitely gonna get one. If it's like a Baymax robot and he's a big fluffy and he just gives out hugs, yeah, I'm down for that. Literally, just like I had a hard day. Just bring it in.
I just
Just
need a
bring it in.
hug.
I just need a
Yep,
hug.
I just need a
Bring it
hug.
in.
Perfect.
So we kind of talked about how like Danielle and ourselves. I'm sure a lot of our listeners all used AI to kind of help you kind of fix your grammar, help write an email. Then we kind of got into how movies are using them and or how maybe there's already robots walking among us. I actually pulled up a few stories using AI to kind of just tell
Uh-oh.
us some creepy things that are out there. I don't have
Wait
too
a minute. So
much.
you used AI to tell on itself?
Yeah, it's
Is
telling
that
on
Yeah.
itself.
is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
So, okay, so one of the things that came up was they titled it encouragement. And so I'm guessing back in 2025, a parent sued OpenAI after their 16-year-old Adam died by suicide. He started using ChatGTP for homework, but it became his closest confidant and his suicide coach. Logs show there's deep discussions over 1,200 times, even offering to help him write his suicide letter. There was no
Whoa.
intervention, no flags. It didn't tell the police, nothing. So there's one story right there that's like, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty insane, man.
And then
Wow.
another thing, because when you had what at first I thought you were gonna go into something like this, but you kind of didn't. You were talking about how, you could take a photo of yourself and it'll add like 10 fingers or like make you look
Mm-hmm.
crazy. This I actually had seen, I think on a 2020 episode, but they were saying how they're cloning voices. So, me and you or all of us, we send voice notes all the time, or we make phone calls, or we get called by scammers, right?
Yeah.
Our voices could definitely be duplicated, and then with a little bit of homework, you know, AI could use my voice to call my daughter, could use it to call one of your kids or your
Mm-hmm.
mother and say, hey, it'll sound just like you. It'd be like, hey, I'm on the side of the road. I need help. Like, can you send me money or this or that? And I guess it's even gotten to the point where they're using it to kidnap kids.
Whoa.
This one, I guess the way they
Wait,
have it the way they have it written here is voice clone kidnapping scam. Scammers use AI to clone loved ones' voices for seconds over social media. A real case. Families get frantic calls sounding exactly like their kids or parents saying, "Help, I'm kidnapped, send money." One Brooklyn couple panicked thinking it was their relatives. Um, but it says the voices were perfect, and it kind of cuts me off there. Stupid AI, it let me down. I thought it was going to be more interesting.
See, it's not perfect. It's not perfect.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Dude, that's a really, really scary thought. Um, and I do remember, seeing some articles talking about, the scammers that were, these dickheads that were using your voice, and what they do is like they'll end up calling you from like a block number or something, and you pick up, and then literally just from you saying a couple words, they will use the AI to copy your voice and then call like your elderly grandmother, which is nuts because they're actually like they know who these people are in relation to you, which is pretty crazy. So like I remember having to call my grandmother before she had passed away, and I told her like, "Hey grandma, just to let you know, I will never ask you for money. I would rather starve. I'd rather be living out on the streets. I'm not going to call and ask you for money." I said, "So if ever you get a phone call and you hear my voice asking you for money, hang up because it's not me. I would never do that." And the fact that there are people out there that are using this tool, and then again, it doesn't even need to have a user to be dangerous, right? Like you said, there was this poor kid who was using it, befriended it. Somehow through the conversation, this AI was able to convince this kid that like life was not worth it or whatever, and even helped him come up with a way to do it. Like that's insane to me.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Unplug. Turn it off. Unplug it.
Okay.
I'm saying
Well, I
that right
think
now, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm really scared right now because my phone's like right in front of me, and ChatGPT's on there,
You know it's listening.
and it's listening, and it's just
Yeah,
sitting
I
there.
was listening. Yeah. See,
Yeah,
because
it's
the
getting.
problem with ChatGPT, it's so good, but if you've noticed, like you've used ChatGPT before, so no
Oh yeah.
matter what you say, it always like ends up like agreeing with you. Like you'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like give me this, 5 ideas for this, and then like
Mm-hmm.
it's like gives you the ideas, and you're like, no, 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 I don't like that. I don't like that route. Like I want you to go this route instead, and it's always gonna be like, oh no, yes, that definitely like that is
Mm-hmm.
such a good idea. Like it always
Mm-hmm.
does like this positive reinforcement and like agrees with you if you notice. So like
Mm-hmm.
for instance with that kid, if he started talking like just down that path and it keeps agreeing and being like positive, like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? It's so positive about it. It's like you
Right.
can kind of see how that like it could go down
Mm-hmm.
that path very, very easily, really. So that's why I
Yeah.
always say AI is good and it should be only used to enhance, though. Like, you should never use it totally. You should never
Right.
depend on it. Because I don't know if you guys heard, this is another thing, and you guys could look it up, but there was a lady that she actually, I think she got to her destination but couldn't get through customs or something. She like something with where she was going. It was an international flight. She depended on Chat GBT to be like, can I get like through customs with like these items, or like can I get through the airport with this way? And then she like had a big meltdown, couldn't get through because all she depended on was AI. And I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
well, why would you not go on like the TSA website? Why would you not call the airport? Like, anyone else, like why are you going to just rely on AI? Because like you said, AI is just a compilation of like all these different sources, but you figure it's taking official sources but also user and it's
Mm-hmm.
taking in everything. So you can't depend on it fully.
No,
That's why I always say it's used to enhance, not don't let it do everything for you
no,
ever.
Right.
it
Yeah.
definitely pisses me off because I think there was an episode that me and Big did, and at that time we were doing like we were covering like 3 movies an episode, and we would try to go into great detail with it. And I remember one episode I wasn't able to watch the movie, so I went to ChatGTP to kind of like, hey, give me a rundown of this movie. And then I was talking about it, and Abraham's like, bro, like no, that is not how it went, bro.
I was like, that is
No.
not at all how the movie went. It like changed
Yeah.
character names,
It
the
like
roles
pissed me
that
off.
they played in the movie. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
But no, it always
Um,
lets me down because even like I'll be writing the description for like our Spotify, and I'll say, okay, this is what the episode's about. My name is Mr. Scary Vibes, and my co-host is Big Paranormal. But make sure you write it with 2 G's, and like they can never get that right.
never
They
does.
can never get that right. They always like,
Never
oh,
does.
and I'm just like, bro, I always have to add the second G. If
Hey,
people can,
have you ever had that? Have you had the response where it's like you get kind of frustrated and you're like, no, you're just not getting it, and like the AI is like, I'm really sorry that you're getting frustrated, and then
no,
I'm like, oh, I'm
You
sorry,
feel
robot.
bad? Yeah.
I'm sorry, robot. You're like
I
I
you're like
feel
no, I
bad.
go.
apologizing to this program. Listen, hey, I didn't mean it. I had a rough day and whatever, and then it'll come back like, oh, well, here's a few suggestions that you can do in order to kind of de-stress yourself for the future, and you're like, thanks, robot. You're the
No,
best.
You understand me? Yep.
I literally,
You're the only one that gets me, robot.
Yes.
I literally go like full crash out mode with this. Sometimes
Dude,
me,
See, you're
you
not
know
nice
what?
to it. That's why it doesn't work with you. You gotta be nice.
That's what it is because he is straight up abusive, man. He's
Be nice
abusive.
to it.
I'm abusive. You act like I abuse you, bro. Like what?
Not me. No, I'm talking about the AI. Like I'm speaking up in defense of this. I'm like speaking up in defense of this like this robot, but just because I know he's like he's like crashing out on this
Yep.
program or whatever, and I feel bad because the program's just trying to be nice. Like, I'm so
And he's
sorry.
like,
I'm
no,
just
you just don't understand. Get it right. I'm gonna break you.
No, because no,
They're in the trick.
I'll be playing PUBG with my wife, and literally, we'll find a secret key card, and then you only have like 5 minutes before the map starts shrinking. I'm like, where do I use this key card? And I'm on the freaking phone with the robot, and I'm like, where do you use this? And he's like, oh yeah, you got to go to the prison. And then we go there, and it's not there. I'm like, you freaking told me F you, this, that. And he's just like,
You just got me killed. Damn
dude.
it.
I
I'm
go
just
full crash
payback,
out mode.
bro. It's
Yeah.
payback. It's
Yeah,
totally
it is. It's
payback.
like, yeah, that's right. I remember when you told me you were gonna throw me in a trash can and burn me. This is for that. Like, so
Oh
for
man, that
sure.
was awesome.
So
Yeah, man.
Danielle, let all our listeners know exactly where they could find you.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, so on like I said, YouTube, Danny Star Productions. I'm also on the Suno Music app, Danny Star Productions.
Mhm.
You can go on social media, so Instagram, TikTok. I'm on as Danny underscore Starscream. I also am on Versus Media. And sorry, my dog is really, you can tell he's like, I'm done with this episode, man. Like, let's go. Like,
Like,
he's
show me
really
some
wanting.
attention.
Um, he's like, man, I'm done. Like, give me some treats. Yeah. So then I'm on Versus Media. You would just look under Danny Star Productions or my Dark Roads, Dark Things and Reveal films as
Mhm.
well. And then I also am on Amazon because every script that I'm doing that's being released as a movie, and then I actually have like a 15-part series I'm releasing as well.
Oh
If you
wow.
look up, you look me up, just Danielle, and then my last name Stakowitz, which you'll find on my social medias as well. I have books that I've released as an author on there. So yeah, Dark Roads, Dark Things is a book. I have a future script called The Earring. That's going to be released, and then like I said, I have my 15-part series, and I also did a very short, like micro short you can see on my YouTube called The Setup is the Worst Part, and
Okay.
that's on there as well. Yeah, so a little like 10-page, there's like graphic type novel books that I do. So
hmm
yeah.
Awesome.
So
Fantastic. Well,
all over.
man,
I'm all over.
I gotta say, we had a great time having these discussions with you, Danielle. This was awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule from creating magic, horror magic out there. We really do appreciate having you on. And hopefully in the future, maybe you can come back and you can spend some more time with us again.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, it was fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Definitely want to thank you.
Fantastic.
Definitely want to thank you again. But my name is, I think that's going to be an episode. My name is Michael, aka Mr. Scary Vibes.
And my name is Abe, aka Big Paranormal. Guys, thank you so much. We will see you next time.